it was pretty much a no-brainer, and it was fantastic because obviously I read the scripts and there was some stuff in there which was pretty stuff that I hadn't seen before, and also kind of not your typical sort of sci-fi show. That I would basically say it's a little bit more. I don't know. I'm going to have to sort of like. I'm not going to say it's a horror. Definitely not horror, but definitely has horror elements into it, which is great because it's something I haven't seen before. As I said, it's very, very a little bit gritty and gruesome in some instances, but it's just part of the way the actual show has. I'm going to also say evolved because we've been coming up with some new stuff and new gags, which is actually great, that isn't on the page, and that is always fun because then you're going to get it. That's when, especially from my background and my perspective, that's when we get to play.
Now, do you use practical prosthetics, or do you kind of delve a little bit into CGI?
Prac is back, man. Prac is back. That's actually one of the things I actually pitched to Natalie and Gail initially. I said, look, I think that you should do this as practical as possible, and I'm not dissing any. I'm a big television watching sci-fi watcher, but TV sci-fi can sometimes date quite quickly. Yeah. So I've suggested, why don't we just the things that everyone emulates, and it's like Abrams going back to as practical as possible with Star Wars. I said, let's just keep everything as practical as possible, and it's just going to give it more of a gritty kind of a realism, and it's been fantastic. In fact, that's why I feel the show's a little bit malleable. We've actually found our groove basically, and we're still shooting, so we've kind of know what we're good at, and it's freaking a few people out.
Do you work with silicone a lot, or?
Yeah. We basically, I have we've basically set up a shop in. I have a studio back in Melbourne, but we've actually moved the entire production into one facility, which is great. So we have editorials there, it's just basically because the producers can come and visit. Everyone comes and visits prosthetics. They all love prosthetics. Everyone wants to see all that stuff. And so we're basically using all the old methods: silicons, animatronics, foam latexes, makeup, and creature suit. Did I say that? No, I did. Look, it's a sci-fi show. We've got alien in there. Obviously, there's some alien stuff going on.
Yeah.
And how do they become alien? How do they become humans? All this sort of stuff. Which so it's that sort of stuff which we are actually, I guess, you would more than likely do that default to digital, but we decided not to. We decided to basically push it as practical as possible. And to be honest, some of the stuff we watch it, people go, "Holy crap, that looks really good." So, and this is where as I said, I think we found our groove. We kind of know where what the sort of show, really where it's sort of like. Where it sits, but at the same time it seems to sit in its own little arena as well. As I said, I'm a big sci-fi fan, and and generally I don't know a lot of sci-fis that kind of. I would really love to tell you some of the stuff we're doing, but there's some pretty cool, gruesome stuff. But again, it's gruesome in a science fiction way, but it's actually pretty gruesome.